Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, and this is Windows Server 2025 Complete Master Course from Zero to Expert, and this is part 31st video in this course. And in today's session we are going to basically install and configure Hyper-V role on Windows Server 2025. So this is going to be a complete step-by-step full demo video where we are going to install and configure our Hyper-V role on Windows Server 2025 server. So let's get started. So the very first and basic thing, what are the prerequisites and requirement for installing the Hyper-V role? So your processor must be a 64-bit processor, so hardware virtualization supported, so Intel VT-X or AMD V. So this is my basically a virtual machine environment which is running on VMware workstation. So if you are installing Hyper-V role inside your VMware workstation or any virtualization platform, you need to make sure Intel VT technology is enabled. So if I go to virtual machine setting, basically settings, so you should be able to see here under the processor virtualization Intel VT technology or AMD V should be enabled. So make sure this is enabled. So, and then the second thing, minimum RAM is 8 gig, 16 gig or more recommended. So I have given 16 gig to my all the Hyper-V host, and this Hyper-V host having approx I think 16 gig memory, and the operating system is Windows Server 2025 data center, and then supported operating system, and then the minimum disk space is 60 gig space is required. So I have 100 gig C drive. So let me show you this. So I have a 100 C drive, and I have dedicated 500 GB drive, which is basically for Hyper-V, and I already have a one ISO folder where I have kept Windows Server 2025 ISO to deploy a virtual machine, which we are going to do in next video. So these are the requirement which is required to install Hyper-V role, and once you have these requirement, you can go ahead and basically install the Hyper-V role. So to install a Hyper-V role, you can go to a server manager and add and role features, and then you on the server role page you can select the Hyper-V, and then you can select the install. So this is one way to install it, and there is a you can install through Hyper-V, basically Hyper-V through PowerShell also. So we are going to see both methods basically. So on Hyper-V 01 I'm going to install through GUI. So click on manage, add role and features, then click next. Installation is role based installation, so click next. Then this is my server, click next, Hyper-V 01, and then on the server role page we need to select the Hyper-V. So if your Intel VT technology is enabled from BIOS or from the virtual machine configuration, then only you will going to pass the Hyper-V when you select Hyper-V and move next. Otherwise it will fail and give you error message that Intel VT technology is not enabled basically. So let's wait for this. While this is loading, let me show you PowerShell also. So for PowerShell, I'm going to install Hyper-V role by using PowerShell on my Hyper-V host 2. So I'll go and launch let's say terminal as admin. So you require a local administrator rights to install a Hyper-V role, and then I'll type let's say install Windows feature. So you can use tab basically. So Windows feature and put name, and then you can use Hyper-V, and then you can basically put include include management tools basically. So it will install the Hyper-V manager. So management tool, and I'm going to put restart also. So once the installation is done, it will basically restart the server. So hit enter. So now it's going to collect the data. Once the data is collected, it will proceed with the installation of Hyper-V role on the server. Now you can see this it's started the installation of Hyper-V role, And now if I go to this Hyper-V host 1, you should be able to see here Hyper-V. So I'll select the Hyper-V, add required feature. So it will install the Hyper-V GUI management tool and module for PowerShell. So that's good. Just select the Hyper-V and add required features. And you can see the destination server reboot is pending. So because my server I think has a reboot pending, so you need to make sure your server does not have a reboot pending. Anyways, for me it's going to reboot my Hyper-V host once the installation is done. So I'll go ahead and do not check anything here. I'll go with the default option and restart the destination server automatically if required. So once the Hyper-V role is installed, it will go ahead and reboot my server. So now you can see the installation is 92% on PowerShell, and this has also started. So now while this installation is going on, let's understand a few other things. So we need to basically we will walk through for the Hyper-V manager. So if you see this Hyper-V manager, so basically you will have a manage virtual machine. From here you can manage the virtual machine, you can create a new virtual machine and configure and all those things. And then basically if you have a checkpoint, you can manage your checkpoints from checkpoints. Once you select the virtual machine, it will show you the details here, and then you have a actions panel where you can select the all the required action for Hyper-V host or the virtual machine. So we are going to see in this action. Let me show you. So this is my Hyper-V server where the Hyper-V role is already installed. So let me resume this and then show you these options. So let me log in by Hyper-V admin account. So now if you can see the Hyper-V role is already installed. If I go to tools and Hyper-V manager, so let me fix this. So this is my Hyper-V manager. So if I go here, you can see this is basically a Hyper-V host which I have. And then you can see or at the basically right side you have option import virtual machine, Hyper-V setting, and all these options. So now I'll go and basically do the post installation setting. So configure Hyper-V setting. So you need to create a virtual switch, live migration, storage location, and enhanced session mode if you want. So let me go ahead and do some basic stuff. So while these installation is still running, so once the installation is done, you should come here in the Hyper-V settings basically, and you can select your default location where you want to put your virtual machine hard disk and virtual machine configuration. So in my demo environment, I'll go ahead and create D drive. Inside the D drive, I'll create one folder called, let's say, Hyper-V, and I will use this folder to basically store the virtual hard disk. So I'll change the location, and then for virtual machine also I'm going to change this location. So my virtual machine and virtual machine hard disk is going to now set to this location, D Hyper-V, and hard disk is going to be saved on that D virtual machine Hyper-V virtual hard disk. So this is good. So now I'll apply here. And now these are the basic settings, and then you have a live migration settings, and also we will see this in action in upcoming video. So and now the next thing is a virtual switch. So we need to select basically virtual switch. So this is what type of virtual switch is available in Hyper-V. So it has external, so basically provide connectivity between virtual machines to external network. So if you have a physical network and you want your virtual machine to talk to your physical network outside the basically physical server, you should create an external network. Then internal, basically used for communication between the virtual machine on the same host. So if you have a virtual machine which is running on the same host and you want talk to virtual machines to talk to each other, then you should use internal. And then private, create a private network between virtual machine on the same host. So this does the same thing, but the communication is not allowed even with the host. So only creates the basically private network between the virtual machine running on the host. So I'll go here and create my external network. So I'll call it, let's say, vSwitch, and then I'll call it prod, and I'll use my physical network here, and this is important, so allow management operating system to share the network adapter. So we'll have this NIC card basically used in our physical server also. So just apply this, and then next thing, initial Hyper-V best practices: keep Hyper-V and Windows Server fully updated, use a strong password, and limit admin access to your Hyper-V infrastructure. Store VM on a dedicated drive on a storage, so which we did. Do not store your virtual machine or virtual machine hard disk in a C drive, which is default location. So make sure you have a dedicated storage, and then regular backup your virtual machine. So let me show you this also. So if I go here, so now let me test something. So if I go and create a virtual machine, let's call it test 01, and then you can see the storage location is coming default D drive. We basically the folder where we want to put our virtual machine, D Hyper-V, click next, and then generation I'm going to select 2, and then leave the default memory, and then I'm going to select the vSwitch prod, click next, and then this is the default hard disk location where my disk is going to save. And let me say do it 100 GB, click next, and now if I click on finish, it should create my virtual machine, and then it's going to save inside the virtual hard disk. You should be able to see one disk which is related to this virtual machine, and then this is the virtual machine configuration. So this is good. Now you can see, I think these both machines are rebooted. So let me go ahead and check if the Hyper-V installation is completed on both the machines. So this is my Hyper-V 1, this is Hyper-V 2. So now if I go to tools, you should be able to see Hyper-V manager, and you can see in fact the server manager is loading the installation. So you can see the installation is started and installation succeeded. So Hyper-V installation is succeeded successfully on this server, and now we can go ahead and create a virtual machine. And let me verify same thing on this, so we can see the Hyper-V manager. So now if you see here, we got Hyper-V installed, and now if I go and try to add connect to remote server, so I'll use, let's say, Win2K25 HV02 and click OK. So from single Hyper-V manager we can manage basically multiple Hyper-V hosts. So I'll go here and add. So you can see we got all three Hyper-V hosts added to this Hyper-V manager on Hyper-V host 1. So this is pretty much everything which I wanted to cover during the installation. So now the common mistake and troubleshooting tip. So common mistake: not assigning the enough CPU memory to virtual CPU and RAM to VM. So basically doing the under provision for your virtual machine which is required. So storing VM on the system disk, which we have checked, and switch our default storage to D drive. Use internal switch for the internet access, and not taking regular backup. So troubleshooting is basically steps. So check resource uses in Hyper-V manager. For each virtual machine you can check resource utilization, and then ensure the VM file are on fast storage. So you need to make sure your basically virtual machine are saved in fast storage such as SSD or NVMe. So in my example, I am using NVMe backend to deploy all my virtual machines. So you can see this is connected through NVMe. And then use external switch for internet connectivity. So if you want your virtual machine to talk to outside your physical host or Hyper-V, you should use external network, and use the checkpoint and regular backup for your virtual machine. So enterprise virtualization concept basically, so a consolidation run multiple workload on a few physical server. So now since you have a 3 servers, you can run let's say 10 virtual machine in these 3 standalone Hyper-V hosts. However, it is highly recommended to create a multi-node cluster in your infrastructure to have a high availability, live migration, and other features supported for basically cluster. And then isolation, virtual machine are isolated for security and stability. Scalability, easy scale resource as per business grows. And cost effective, so reduce hardware cost and improve resource utilization. So this is pretty much. So in next video we are going to create our first virtual machine on Hyper-V, and then we are going to install an operating system on it, and then we are going to play around that specific virtual machine. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe me for more videos, and if you have any query, any question related to this, you can always post in my given mail IDs. Thank you once again. Bye bye.